Hectic. It's been a hectic day.
Stand by at station 92.
Dad! I rolled my car again.
928, okay, 69.
One after another.
And they rolled.
Drivers along I-70 were deceived.
I'm right by the church in Watkins.
Deceived by roads that looked wet.
It's frozen over.
But were slick with ice.
I was fine until these stupid people were stopping in front of me, and then I couldn't stop.
17-year-old Amy Jordan and her sister were driving home to Bennett.
We rolled like 4 times, I think. I don't really know.
Both walked away.
Were you wearing your seatbelt?
Jesse Sims and other Bennett firefighters responded to 11 crashes in 3 hours.
It was one after another.
He says the people wearing seatbelts survived. A man who was not buckled up.
He was ejected out of the vehicle and the vehicle rolled over top of him and crushed him.
The Department of Corrections says there were no seatbelts for the inmates on this prison van. It rolled over near Lyman, closing I-70 for several hours. Colorado State Patrol says a corrections officer and inmate died. The other officer and 8 prisoners went to the hospital, some badly hurt.
It's extremely hard to stop on this kind of icy surface.
Bennett Fire Lieutenant Caleb Connor says people are driving too fast for the conditions.
There's a lot of ice, and we remind everybody just to be careful.
A family of 6 made it out of this totaled truck with bumps and bruises. All of them were buckled up.
Click that seatbelt. It'll save your life.
Boy, you really did pack it good.
Brianna Persinger prepares to take a trip
Yesterday, I started loading it all up.
she thought she would never take.
My brother and my little sister and I were all put in foster care.
A former foster child, living in a motel,
Here is our kitchen.
in a single room with her grandparents.
We don't have a whole lot of room, but we make the best of the space we've got.
She is tough. And maybe she might have got a little bit of that toughness from living right here.
From trying to survive along East Colfax Avenue in Denver.
I knew a couple of girls that were 12 and 13 and they were prostituting, and I didn't understand.
The drug dealers, the pimps, the hookers, this is what that is. And you don't want to be that.
Trapped on Colfax.
Her mom is the manager of the motel, which means she's not doing real great.
You don't want to get stuck in this. You want to start out and just keep going. Because once you get in, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's hard to get back out.
Especially
I was not the first person in my family to have a baby at 15.
a teen mom growing up on the tough streets. She gave her baby up for adoption and decided there was only one thing she could do.
I'm going to be the one person to finally jump out.
You saw where we live. This is not where she wants to be.
We always told her, though, if you don't want to end up where we all are, college is the way to go.
Most people in this situation aren't going to college. They're not graduating. You're lucky if they're even in school.
Brianna focused and finished with strong grades at George Washington High School.
If I stay here, I won't be able to even help me. So I knew I had to get out and do something and make something of myself.
That's why she's taking this trip.
We are heading out at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
From Colfax to college, Brianna found her escape, not in Nevada, but in Nevada, Missouri.
I had my window open and I was like, oh my God, it's the smell of rain and mud.
She's attending classes at Cody College, a small all-women's school where Brianna's biggest concern are polyatomic ions and periodic tables instead of pimps and hookers.
There's a lot of space here. And I can walk outside and not worry about someone trying to pick me up.
Or worry about her next meal.
Oh, I love the food. Food is great.
She's surrounded by friends
Yay!
instead of drug dealers.
Brianna says her road to Cody College would not have been made possible if it wasn't for an unlikely ally, the family that adopted her daughter. In the interest of privacy, they did not want to talk to us on camera, but Brianna says they changed her life.
And of all the ways to hear about it, my daughter's adoptive family, I just didn't see it coming.
The family had ties to Cody College. They also hired an advisor for Brianna to help her get grants and scholarships to attend school.
That's just amazing. She found the right family.
A family that decided to care about Brianna.
They didn't have to, but they do, and that means so much. I don't even know where to begin.
It began with a trip she never thought she would take.
A year ago, I never would have thought that of all places I would be in the middle of Missouri.
Away from her hard life. She still has some concerns.
The humidity sucks, but it makes nature look good. The only thing I worry about here is stray animals. The chapel's slightly irritating every hour, half hour. Speaking of,
Finally, Brianna feels she's making her way
Thank you. No problem.
off of Colfax Avenue.
I definitely don't miss Colfax, any part of it.
With photojournalist Kevin Sullivan,
I hated that street.
Nelson Garcia, 9 News. Down on the 16th Street Mall,
This particular block and area of Denver is the cornerstone of Denver.
you'll find a place where anybody can be king,
Mostly during the day, there's a whole bunch of people playing chess.
and they're all talking about the kingdom.
I got laid off from a company I'd worked for several years due to downsizing.
We're beggars, and it hurts.
Be careful. Where we have now, where 20% of people are either out of work or only have part-time jobs.
If life was a game of chess,
Check. Oh.
many of these people would be the pieces
I was lucky that was there.
already taken off the game board.
Right now, it's very humiliating and very hard.
You got the unemployed economy without anything to do battle with.
The gap between the rich and the poor is growing ever wider.
But here,
It's the best peaceful war I know.
even if it's for just a short time,
I go there, you go there, I go there, you go there.
they are not the pawns, they are the masters.
When you see people come down here and play chess and they're on a common ground, and it shows how intellectual a lot of the people are.
There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of strategies, man.
You can't just sit there and look at those pieces and decide in 1 or 2 minutes how you're going to move.
Gotta take that.
If life was a game of chess,
If you're 11 moves ahead, you're a world's champion.
they say someone's been making the wrong moves.
Ooh, bad move, dog. You should take that back.
They didn't just make those wrong moves on one game. They made it on several years of playing chess.
That when illegal aliens come to this country, a lot of times they work and work and work, and they send their money back to their country. And that's not cool.
You need me here, and instead, I'm unemployed.
And if you ask these knights by night,
We're running out of pieces.
the answer may be found right here.
Is you put everybody back to work, and then the economy's fine.
Maybe allowing more people down on the 16th Street Mall
When I first came here, I made more money.
to declare
Check.
mate.
I can't front though. You got some skills though.
With photojournalist Kevin Sullivan,
I'll give it to you.
Nelson Garcia,
You got next.
9 News.
I think it's our more important one in the last 30 years.
I think we're getting a bigger divide between rich and poor people.
There's a lot of money on the sidelines waiting to be spent. I think everybody's holding back till after the election.
I think the Republicans have kind of gone off the deep end. I'd like to see Barack Obama win the election in November.
It is serious.
We finally got bin Laden, you know, since Obama's been president. I served my country for 6 years. He's definitely tapped into a different crowd, a different market.
We're circling the drain in this country. Economically speaking, this country's on the skids and it's heading downhill fast.
You can't please everybody.
What is it? Obamacare, thank you. Obamacare, I think everybody's a little nervous with that.
You got to give tax cuts because if we don't, they don't create jobs, and it's jobs that we need. Jobs are what creates taxes.
54-24.
It's all politics, back and forth, the left, the right, the this, the that.
Mitt Romney, that's why I like him, because I think that he could maybe build a coalition across the aisle and actually come up with something that might work.
And I think everybody's fed up with what's going on.
At least in Denver, things are pretty good, and they're looking like they're going to continue to improve.
I think we're going to have a new president. Change is good. We need it.
I know what I want in the next election, but I'm not sure anybody's going to get what they want in the next election.
Bye, guys. You have a really good night.